Hello students, in the last session we have studied Java Virtual Machine. In today's session we will discuss general structure of Java program. While writing a program, we need to follow a certain structure. For example, while writing a C program, you declare the hash include statements at the beginning, and then you may include some function definitions and you may add a main function. So you're following a particular structure while writing a C program. Same way, while writing a Java program, we have to follow a structure. So here we will study what is the structure of Java program. So let's start. General structure of Java program includes different sections. The first section is documentation section, and this is a suggested section. So the documentation section comprises a set of comment lines giving the name of the program, the author and other details which the programmer would like to refer to at the later stage. In addition to the two styles of comments, that is a single line comment which can be declared by using two forward slashes, and we have a multi-line comment which can be declared by using forward slash star and star forward slash. We use single line comment, double forward slashes, or multi-line comment, for example forward slash star and star forward slash. So this is a multi-line comment. So these two types of comments are supported by C programming language also. And apart from these two different types of comments, Java also uses a third style of comment known as documentation comment. So documentation comment looks something like this: forward slash, instead of a single star in documentation we have a double star, remember. And then you have your comment and it is closed with star and forward slash. So this is called as documentation comment. Other two types of comments you are already familiar with. So Java supports one more type, that is documentation comment, which looks something like this: forward slash, double star and your comment, and it is closed with again star and forward slash. This form of comment is used for generating documentation automatically. Whenever you use automatic documentation, if you use your documentation, include your documentation in this type of comments, it is automatically generated. So documentation section, as I have told you, it is suggested section, means it is not necessary in your program, but it is suggested that you should include the documentation section, which simply explains about your program, what the programmers, who is the author of the program, and why the program or the algorithm has been written. So that is the initial, that is the first part in the Java program, documentation section. Next section, it is package statement. This statement declares a package name and informs the compiler that the classes defined here belongs to this package. For example, the syntax of a package declaration here, it is package space name of the package. So whatever classes you declare in your program belongs to the package which is declared, and this has to be the first statement after the documentation section in your program. So if you want your classes to be part of a particular package, you have to declare a package statement. As you can see, this particular section, it is optional. It is not required that all your classes to be a part of a package. So if you want your classes to be part of a package, you can include the package statement. Detailed about packages we will discuss in the later section. So the package statement section. Then the next section, it is import statement. We can include number of import statements in this particular section. This is similar to the hash include statement in C programming. As we have used hash include statement in C programming to include the libraries, or I can say predefined libraries, into your program. For example, you are using hash include stdio.h, which provides the functions like scanf, printf. Means these are predefined libraries, and those you are including in your program, and you are using functions which are defined in that library. So that provides you reusability. So the function scanf, printf is declared in IO, and you are using it in your program by simply including it in the program. Same way in Java, we can include certain, we can use certain predefined things by importing the classes in the program. So the syntax to import is the keyword import space the package which you want to import. Here we have an example, that is java.io. We are importing the package IO, that is input output package, which provides us with some input output functionalities. So no need to define everything in your program. You can use certain things which are predefined, like you did in the C programming as well. In Java also there are many predefined packages, we call it as API, available, and those APIs can be included in your program, can be used in your program by using import statement. Okay, this is about import statement. The next section is interface statement. An interface is like a class, but it includes a group of method declarations. See, in a class we include method definitions, but in interface we have only method declarations. There is a difference between a declaration and definition. Declaration means only the name of a method, no implementation part is included. So interface simply includes the declarations of different methods, not the implementation of those methods. So this is also an optional section. Interface, it is an optional section, and it is used only when we wish to implement the multiple inheritance feature in the program. So multiple inheritance in Java, it is provided through the interfaces. Again, interface, it is like a template which can be implemented by other classes. So detailed discussion about interface we will have in the later section. So this is an optional section, like even the import statement section, it was an optional section. It is not like every program should have an interface, import statement and all. The next section is the class definition section. A Java program may contain multiple class definitions. Classes are the primary and essential elements of a Java program. So we may have more than one classes, and those classes can be defined in this particular section. The number of classes used in the program depends on the complexity of the program. We have already seen a simple program earlier in which we have used only a single class, but it is possible to include more than one classes in the Java program. Even this section, it is an optional section, means not all program includes more than one classes. If you want to declare more than one classes, you can declare it. Okay, the next section in the structure, it is the main method class. This is an essential part of a Java program. If you look at all the other parts of a structure, the parts are optional or suggested. That means you can include those parts if you want in the program, otherwise those parts can be skipped. But this is one thing which is essential, means every program which you write should include this particular part, that is main method class. Every Java standalone program requires a main method. So main method, it is the starting point of the program and every program needs it. This class is essential part of a Java program because it includes the main method. This class is an essential part. You cannot write a Java program without this particular class. You should have at least one class which includes the main method. In the last program also we have seen we have declared a single class and that class contained the main method. Even a simple Java program contains this particular part. The main method creates object of various classes and establishes communication between them. So if you have more than one classes also in the program, if you have defined classes in the class definition section, objects of those classes can be created from the main method class. And on reaching of the main method, end of the main method, the program terminates and the control is passed back to the operating system. So this main method is very important. This is the entry point of our program. The program execution starts from the main method and it ends when we reach at the end of a main method. So this is a general structure of a Java program. So only essential part of this structure, it is the main method class. So all the other sections are optional. Those sections can be used as and when required in the program. Okay, next section which we are discussing it is the next thing, that is naming conventions. Naming conventions, simply these are certain rules which we need to follow while writing our Java program. We have already written a Java program, a simple Java program. We need to follow certain rules while writing the Java program. So we will study which are those rules here. Okay, naming convention, as I have said, specify the rules to be followed by a Java programmer while writing the names of packages, classes, methods, etc. When we name packages or classes or method names, we need to follow certain rules in Java. So which are these rules? Okay, for package names, if you are declaring packages, package, or you are importing a package in the program, you need to follow the rule. The rule is the package name. The package names are written in small letters. So whenever you use a package, the package names are always in small letters. Remember this. Whenever you declare your own package also, you have to follow this rule. You have to declare the packages in small case. Here is one example of package, that is java.io. This is a predefined package, input-output package in Java. All the letters in this name are small, remember. So package name are always declared in small case. So this is the first thing. Second, each word of class name of class name and interface name starts with capital letter. Whenever you declare a class, the name of a class should start with a capital letter. If your class is made up of more than one word, for example, look at the example. If your class name is sample, so you have to declare it like this. S is capital here, remember. So class name always starts with a capital letter. If your class name is made up of more than one words, like in this case, add two numbers. The class name is add two numbers. So here it is made up of three words, add two and numbers. So every word's first letter is capital. Add A is capital, 2T is capital and number N is capital. So while declaring a class name, we have to follow this rule. So each word of class name and interface name should start with a capital letter. Next rule is method names start with small letters, then each word starts with capital. If you are declaring a method, a function, then it has to be declared in small case if it is made up of a single word. For example, if your method name is sum, then you can see the example, all the characters in this method name are small. If your method name or function name, it is made up of more than one words. Look at this example. Okay, I'll go to the last example first. Mean value is my function. It is made up of two words, mean and value. First word is completely small. Second word's first letter, that is V, is capital. So this is how methods, functions have to be declared. If it is made up of three words, here look at this example. Sum two numbers. This is my function name. Sum completely small. Second word's first letter is capital as well as third word's first letter is capital. This is how method names needs to be declared. Whenever you declare functions in the Java program, you have to follow this rule. Next, variables. Whenever you declare variable names, you have to follow the same above rule for the methods. Whatever rule you have followed for the methods, the same rule you have to follow while declaring the variable. If it is made up of one word, complete small, you can see here. If it is made up of two words, first word is completely small case. Second word's first letter is capital, that is C is capital. So this is the rule for variables. Next, for constants, you can declare certain constants in Java as well. If you are declaring constants or constant variables, the names are written in complete capitals. Even in C, you follow this rule where constants, when you declare constants, you declare it in capital letters. So for example, you can see you can declare a constant like pi. For that you have to use the name in capital letters. Even if you declare a constant like count, it has to be declared in capital letters. Then if you want to declare a constant like size and all, you have to declare it in capital letters. So this is the rule for constants. Next, if you're using keywords in the program, the keywords are the reserved words, and these reserved words are always written in small letters. The keywords like int, short, float, public, void, other keywords like while, for, you have used these keywords in C programming also. All those keywords are always declared in small letters. You cannot declare int like this. For example, I is capital and then N and T. This is wrong. This is wrong declaration. All the keywords need to be declared in small case. So I, that is small I, then N and T. So these are some naming conventions which you need to follow while writing Java program. See, these are not strict rules. Means if you are not following the rules, it may not generate any errors in the program. But these are the rules which are followed while writing the predefined packages and classes which are available in Java. And they suggest you to follow the rules for better understanding of program. So these are naming conventions, and we will follow these programs while writing, follow those rules while writing our programs as well. Okay, with this we will stop today. Thank you.